Hello everyone, this is what we're going to do today, so let's take a look. Okay, let me play again. So on the background is fading in and flashing, fading out, and the snowboarder turns to the vector graphics using the pen tool. So the key thing is for today's tutorial is using the pen tool. Okay, so we can turn that photo image, the snowboarder, into vector graphics. So we can clip any portion of your image using the pen tool. So let's get started. Okay, so let's create a new Animate CC document, just a 640 by 480, 24 frame, and HTML5 canvas. Actually, either one doesn't matter, but HTML5 is more compatible with any other devices. So create it. Okay, before we jump into the snowboarder images, I'm going to show you kind of basic concept and basic use of a pen tool. So select your pen tool, set your fill color to nothing, and then stroke color, let me use just black for now. And this pen tool, if you have used the pen tool in Photoshop or the Illustrator, exactly the same way. So first point, you can just click, and then for the straight line you can just second click, and then we have this straight line. And then also you can control the stroke weight from your properties panel. Okay, just like this. If you want to have a curve, always starting point is the same, click and release. Second point, for the curve, keep pressing your mouse button and drag it until you see the expected line. Looks okay now. Before you jump to the next point, let's see what happened. If I want to have a line here, see, it is kind of a bend. So before you jump to the next point, always please cut your handler. So I'll just re-click in that point, your second point, and now I'm free. Click, click, and then make sure you're closing your shape. So that means when you're closing your shape, you can see that kind of a tiny circle right next to your pen tool, meaning you're closing this shape like this. Then we can still change the shape, but also we can fill with this paint bucket tool. Okay, so that's what we're gonna use. Okay, so once you're done, once you open the new file, go to File, Import, just import to the stage. Just to import this snowboarder.jpg, you have a link on the bottom of my screen. Okay, so that's what I have for now. Then let me take a look at the original file. As you can see that this background snowboarder image is kind of a fading in and flashing several times and fading out, only the background. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So first, let's make this kind of a fading in and flashing effect of this background image. Go to select your first keyframe, go to Insert menu and create Classic Twin. On the 1 second mark, insert a keyframe. Okay, so in order to have the fading in effect, place this blue playhead on first keyframe and click on your image on your stage, then color effect in your properties panel. Color effect alpha 0. So we have fade in, which is okay, but I wanted to have kind of several flashing. So what I'm going to do is, let me place my playhead on frame number 10, insert a keyframe, okay, and then on this frame number 10, let me click on my image on my stage again, and alpha back to 100. So it is kind of fading in quickly, okay. And then after 2 or 3, like a frame number 13, let me insert another keyframe, click on my image, and change the alpha value back to 0. And maybe another 3, like 16. Click on my image, insert a keyframe, click on my image, alpha, supposed to be 0 and 100, back to 100. Okay, and let me have another one on frame number 19. Insert another keyframe, click on my image, alpha, down to 0. So now we have this, fading in and flashing. Okay, so it's not too bad. Let me rename this as a BG, background. Okay, so now next thing is, I just need to make my background image disappear while the snowboarder stays. So now it's time to use a pen tool. So let me create a new layer on top. On 1 second mark, frame number 24, let me insert timeline, blank keyframe. Then from my library, I'm gonna have my snowboarder.jpg here. On properties panel, let me set to the same position, 0 by 0. Okay, let me lock my bottom layer. Okay, now in order to use a pen tool, this is just a bitmap image, so we can't clip this snowboarder or any certain portion of this image by using the pen tool. What we need to do is select the image, go to modify, and break apart. Do you see the white meshes? Meaning now we can clip any portion of your image using the pen tool. So let me zoom in first. So like I showed you at the very beginning of this video, we're gonna use a pen tool to clip this guy. Okay, so let me zoom out. Click somewhere. Okay, looks good. And then set your fill color. First, choose your pen tool. Set your fill color to nothing. And stroke color. Black is okay, but I'm gonna use red so I can see the outline. And then it doesn't have to be super accurate clipping. So start from somewhere here, and let me change my stroke size to 0.5. Okay. So I'm gonna start from here using pen tool. Go to next point, there's a curve, drag it. Before you jump to the next point, cut the handler and go to next point. Like this. Okay. So I will keep going around this snowboarder and then I'm going to stop when I see that closing the little tiny circle next to my pen tool. Okay, and I'm going to fast forward this process so we can save time. Okay, so I'm closing the outline. Looks good, but there are two kind of holes here, and I'm going to finish that part as well. Okay, so I have this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my background. Click on my background. So as you can see that I'm only selecting my background. Okay, and go to edit menu and cut. Okay, it looks the same. The background image we are seeing is on the very bottom. So let me hide this. So there's nothing. But what I'm gonna do is let me make a new layer on top. Okay, and then on 2-second mark, insert blank keyframe, and let me paste in place the background image, which we just cut. And then let me move this right up on the original background image. I'm going to rename it as BG number 2. Okay. So this is what's going on for now. Okay. And one more thing. Let me lock these two layers. This top layer is a snowboarder. Let me name it as a snowboarder. Snowboarder. Okay. But this snowboarder has, let me zoom in, the photo image and then the red outline thing. We're going to separate it. So the way is, you can just select everything. I just want to select the outline, red outline only. So hold down the shift key and click in the middle, and here too, I forgot that. Okay, and cut, edit, Command X. Then let me make a new layer on very top. What I'm gonna do is insert another blank keyframe, then paste in place the red outline thing. Okay. Then choose your paint bucket tool, set your fill color to black, and click. Yeah, black. Then delete the red outline. We don't need it. Excuse me. I'm going to rename it as excuse me, snow border underscore black. Okay, and let me hide it temporarily. Okay, so once it is done, then BG number 2 bottom layer, this background, let me fit to screen, supposed to be fading out. So highlight the first keyframe of my BG number 2 on 2-second mark, go to insert, create classic twin, on 2-second mark, insert the keyframe. Okay, and then I want to make this background image fading out. So on 2-second mark, click on your background image, and color effect, change the alpha value to 0. So your background image is fading out eventually. Okay, but this snowboarder on top, this one, he is supposed to stay there. So let me just highlight the 2-second mark, insert the keyframe, so we can keep him. Okay. And then my next plan is from 2-second mark and up to 3-second mark, there will be a kind of transitioning from this photo image into black vector images. So let me make the visible this top layer, which is this black, and select the frame, keyframe where you have this the silhouette of this snowboarder, and then just to move it to just drag it onto the 2-second mark. Okay. Now highlight those two frames on 2-second mark, which is black silhouette and the photo image of this snowboarder, and select, go to insert menu and create classic twin. Okay, and up to 3-second mark, highlight the top layers, the black layer, and hold down the shift key and click on the second layer as well, and then insert the keyframe. Then let me hide the top layer. So once background layer is gone, then this photo image is supposed to be fading out, and at the same time the black silhouette will be fading in. So kind of a crossover. So on 3-second mark, let me click on my snowboarder image, change the alpha value down to 0. So he is fading out. Now let me make the top layer visible. This guy will be fading in. So on 2-second mark, on the first keyframe of this black snowboarder, click on your image and color effect alpha starting from 0. So they are kind of overlapping and transitioning into black silhouette. So this is what we have so far. Okay, so we're almost there now. Then next thing is, let me show you from here. So this is where we are here. And this snowboarder will be sliding, gliding, and getting smaller. And text is coming in. So we're almost there. So on maybe an 80-second mark, I want to make him move quickly because snowboarding is kind of a very speedy sport. I just drink coffee. And go to insert. I inserted it already. On frame number 80, insert a keyframe. Okay, and then move him down to somewhere here. Also at the same time, by using this free transform tool on frame number 80, I want to make him smaller. Maybe a little more. Like that. Let me move it maybe a little more. Okay. Then let me insert another new layer on top for the text. Okay, and then I typed rise and glide, rise and glide. Okay, so from here, let me insert on frame number 80, insert new blank keyframe, and let me type. This is the Planet Cosmos the typeface I downloaded from the thefont.com. I'm gonna type. What was that? Rise and glide. Rise and glide. Here. Okay. And using free transform tool, when you place your mouse cursor on the side, you see that your mouse cursor changes to kind of two arrowheads to the opposite direction, and hold down the shift, and I'm going to move it like this. I'm trying to keep the kind of same angle as this snowboarder, just like this. So I'm gonna place it here. Okay, so looks good. Okay, and then highlight the frame number 80 where you have the text. Go to Insert, create Classic Twin, and maybe I'm just 10 more frames, and insert the keyframe. And then also we need to keep the snowboarder as well up to 90, frame number 90. So insert another keyframe. Okay. Then on frame number 80, I want to start the animation of this text from, out of the stage. So let me move it to somewhere here. So while snowboarder is gliding and text is coming in like that. Okay, and then I want to give some, so let me play it from the beginning so far. Okay, why don't we apply some of these options? So my snowboarder is coming in from here. So highlight this frame. Let me change the ease option up to 100. And then my text, frame number 80 on my text layer, highlighting that keyframe, and then minus 100. And there's a kind of a subtle changes. See, the text is kind of coming in even faster. Okay, so let me test the movie. Under Control, test the movie in browser. Yeah, but it just keeps looping. I want to allow to have several kind of few seconds so people have enough time. Your viewer have enough time to view it. So maybe about 3 more seconds. So on 7-second mark, only the top 2 layers insert keyframe. Okay, so they will stay about 3 more seconds and keep playing. So let me test the movie again on a web browser. 1, 2, 3. See? Yep. Okay, so this is what we did for today. Okay, I hope this helpful, and then thanks for watching and see you next time.